Bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? Manchester United season is right around the corner. We are wrapping up preseason. Transfer market is in full swing, and United, we're not quite done with the old era. We're still in a period of transition. The injury crisis is back, baby. Two of the starters are two of our young studs. We've got quite a few at the moment, but Højlund down for 6 to 8 weeks. Lenny Euro down for 3 months with a broken metatarsal, which I can empathize with the man for a variety of reasons. But
you're in the boot right now.
I
too.
also have a broken fifth metatarsal. I'm hoping he heals better. He's got 20 years on me. I'm pushing 40, and he's not even pushing 20. But it's a backbreaker for United. But the show must go on. Preseason's going on. United's about to finish up a game against Betis. They're leading at the moment. Good first half, some good goals. I thought actually United is starting to look quite lively, starting to look in decent shape. But yeah, we're almost heading back from the States there. We got one game left. We're playing the Scouse Bastards on the weekend in South Carolina. Should be a sticky affair. And then we head home and get ready for the Community Shield next weekend. Sir, how we feeling? How we doing?
And only in sex masochism, then it is allowed.
Only. Sir, only these injuries are just staring into the black abyss of the injury excuses of last year. Lenny Euro. The shine hadn't even gotten off the lad. We hadn't even opened the packaging,
It's still in the box.
Like that protective film on like an iPad. We didn't even take that off and he's already done. This is unbelievable. 3 months, the guy's in a boot. I mean, the boot is just tough for morale. You're in a boot, sir. You got a broken foot. How does it feel? It's like then you got the broken foot. Then you got to get back to fitness. This kid we're not going to be seeing till what? November, December, earliest. And he's supposed to be like, boom, right? Starting from the day one, right? In the back line for Manchester United next to Leach. Absolutely horrific. And we don't have that much money. So now it's going to be that Magoo. Now you can't move Lindelof. The dominoes go on. And then with Højlund, injury problems last year with his back, does his hammy like that 6 to 8 weeks. Like we don't have any other options at number 9. We got Xerxes, but he's been out.
He's
enjoying his vacation,
He's
right?
Not fit yet.
And
Sancho, false 9.
Yeah, now we don't want to move Sancho, but this is throwing
Welcome back, baby. Welcome back.
like there's just a shit sandwich that got thrown in the mix here at Manchester United. And these are big injuries to very sensitive parts of the squad. Like center back, huge issue last year. Striker, huge issue last year. And we're already behind the 8 ball. Now, there is an upside to this. There is a positive angle here at Manchester United that Ineos knows this now. They don't know it. Like you could have these players get injured after deadline day. So now we know. Moves can be made, and I really think number 9 is like flashing red, right? We just got Cheeto Obi Martin in. Big shout out to the Gunners for messing that up. Shout out to Ruud van Nistelrooy for helping the youngster come to United. Very pumped on that, but he ain't going to solve our problems, and Xerxes ain't going to solve our problems, so we need another number 9. I was calling for that even before Højlund was injured, and so I think we probably will get one. Ineos will make a move there. They have to. Center back is more of a don't sell Lindelof. Maybe re-sign Maguire, play defense there because he is playing on the right side. Maguire can play there. Interesting times at Manchester United. It's never dull, but man, we're talking about practice, and boy, did practice just get a little too real for me this summer.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of good points there. Injury crisis. The fact that we were already attached to another center back beyond Lenny, the De Ligt rumors have not gone away. They're dragging their feet a little bit on the price. I think there's about a $10 million gap in the valuations at the moment. This will probably speed them up given how bad the diagnosis is. And also, they kind of dragged their feet. I was talking to my brother, the ortho, who's opined in the past when Rashford broke his back because he's an ortho spine surgeon. And we were talking about this, and it's like he thinks he had surgery, and I think they'll confirm it. probably had surgery in the States before he left, like at UCLA's facility, which is pretty good, as you can imagine. So it's a backbreaker. It's a bummer. It's a huge bummer. But there was the future, right? And Cheeto, super exciting.
You know you jinxed it, right? Because
get the fuck out of here. Dude, start jinxing. Mason Mount,
I'm calling
the guy
you
played like one game last year.
Hey,
we jinxed it.
you need to calm down. Kobe Mano hasn't played since you got that kit. So like here's the deal.
Played for England.
The jinxes you said, one will be a big deal, one will not. I think both are a big deal. So that's a little. It's kind of a half jinx.
One's a medium.
It is
one's medium bad, and one's bad. Like,
but
even
Hoyland,
then, it could be worse. And they could be ACL. They could be full seasons. So
Hoyland Hammy, for him to get back from that is going to be a bit. It's like because he only has one speed, and that's the one thing about like a youngster like that. You just want to go full gas all the time, and you have to kind of learn the limitations because that was a hammy busting run that he made in preseason. He should not have made. And I remember, like, when he made that run, I was like, whoa. I thought it was like, this kid's got to calm down. He pulls up 6 to 8 weeks.
And you want to see that. I mean, you want to see the energy.
I want to see that in a derby.
I agree.
When we play Liverpool.
But let's call
for playing for keeps, we're talking about, sir.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice?
So, look, we're Muppets. We're losing our minds here.
It's that pitch, bro. That's what I have to say.
No, he was
Yes,
that run. You
No,
can't
dude.
make it.
The fact
sir,
they both got
you
it- that-
can't make an effort like that.
That's a dog
in
shit pitch,
preseason.
bro. You can't have these like sod
You
late
can't
pitches.
be running. You can't be running like that in preseason. You know you can't. Like you got to be 80%.
It was a hell of a
Everyone
run.
has to be 80%.
It was his first game, by the way.
I'll tell you, Johnny
First game
Evans
back.
pulling out of the challenge that led to a goal in preseason. That's what you want to see. He's a vet. He's like, I'm not going in preseason. A youngster is going to go way too hard, right? Trying to impress the fans in the United States. But look, nervy in the pod bunker. Everything's going to be all right. We got to remind ourselves. Everything. Ineos is at the wheel. They're going to steer the ship. Just got a little rough out there. So he's kind of started kicking up a little bit. And we got to make sure that Dan Ashworth can solve this with some serious transfer business. But before we get into that, sir, quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the American Red Devils and you need more of the Muppet Take in your life, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be spitting everything, recapping and breaking down all transfer news and preseason matches and freaking out about every single injury that we pick up this preseason.
Not the last one.
We just got our YouTube channel off the ground. Shout out to everyone who's liked and subscribed. Please check it out. It goes a long way to support the pod. Also, drop a comment on each video. If you drop a comment, you have a chance to be the Muppet of the Week. Current Muppet of the Week is Chiefs Kingdom 420. What a username. I watched the first half at work. Even though we lost, there were still positives that happened. After all, it's only a friendly. Nonetheless, let's keep going. Let's get another title this year. Another trophy, sir. So, again, shout out to Chiefs Kingdom 420. He's enjoying the Super Bowls with the Chiefs and the FA Cup with Manchester United. You love the American Red Devils tint there. But if you want to be the Muppet of the Week, please comment down below. And also, another great way to support the podcast is Patreon, patreon.com/American Red Devils. We don't have any sponsors on the podcast, so we are 100% fan-backed, fan-supported, so we can speak our minds, say whatever we want about this club. Hashtag Glazers out. Everybody knows it. We do a behind-the-scenes episode every single month. Tons of benefits. Great way to support the podcast. Again, check it out. Also, another great way to support the American Red Devils is our store. You buy some merch, helps the pod. We return the favor, and we just got our Garnacho scarves in stock, sir. I'm pulling up I'm going to pull up the link right here. I'm wearing it. The Viva Garnacho. What a scarf we have here. Oh my God. Here we got
beauty.
The bicycle kick, overhead kick, goal of the month. And I think goal of the year, the Garnacho, the Argentinian flag. Sick. And then it just says Viva Garnacho on the back and obviously ARD on the front. Support the pod. Grab a scarf. Perfect for supporting at your local bars with fellow Muppets. Again, you know the drill, sir. Tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews. If you can't support the pod by joining Patreon or buying merch, great way to support us is to write 5-star reviews wherever you listen. But if you do it on iTunes or Spotify, we're giving away free merch. All you have to do is write a 5-star review, send in a screenshot of that review to americandevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I will personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD merch, send it right to your door anywhere in the world, sir. 5-star Reds, the Manchester United Reds. Well, they're finishing up now in the Snapdragon Stadium, sir, playing the Snapdragon Cup. They are our shirt sponsor. They could be our future stadium sponsor because that's going to come. But yeah, let's get into it, buddy.
Let's break it down. All right, let's get into the starting 11 here. Interesting move from the manager. Tom Heaton in net. Onana needs that breather. AWB at right back. Magoo Lindelof pairing. Where have I seen that before? Harry Amos at left back. Casemiro, Eriksson, McTominay midfield. Rashford on the left. Sancho at false 9 like we saw last year in preseason before it all went south. And then Amad Diallo on the right. What'd you make of this 11? I'm going to say Mason Money Mount gets dropped for Scotty McTominay.
Yeah, I mean, that was the big, other than Heaton making a start, which is an odd one. Maybe he's saving his legs for South Carolina against the Scousers. Maybe he wants minutes for the backup. But this is starting to look like an 11 that we're probably going to see a week from Saturday at the Community Shield. So that's what happens. I know, get ready, bro. You get closer to the start of the season, it goes from practice to transition to the big leagues. And this is probably pretty close given the injuries, given the fact that Bruno won't be ready. Kobe won't be ready. Martinez won't be ready. Xerxes won't be ready because they're all coming back from fitness from the Euros or the Copas, respectively. This is pretty close. So
Garnacho
won't be ready.
Garnacho won't be ready.
But you know what? Good to see Amad over Anthony. So that's promising. Would have liked to see Mason Money Mount, but I thought, we showed some promise in the first half. What'd you make of this 11, sir?
Mason Mount's got to start at number 10. I think he's the future. Scott McTominay, maybe this was an advertisement to Newcastle United or other teams that are Fulham that are interested in him. I like Sancho at number 9. I like him at false 9. I think he can link up with Diallo and Rashford well. I think we saw that today to start the match. But other than being the number 1 Mason Mount fan and not seeing him in the lineup, I didn't mind it. The Magoo Lindelof pairing is depressing after seeing Lennon Euro come in and play very well. The fact he's in the boot is a bummer, but you have to remember we signed him through like 2029, so there's going to be plenty of time for him to get healthy. And obviously, the game is actually going on as we speak. It's in the, I think it actually just wrapped up. 3-2, United beat Betis, and the horrible mullet of the former Arsenal left back. I forget his name.
He's down. If you go down,
yeah, I know.
What's his name?
Bellerin. It's funny how where some of these players end up, but that was a brutal mullet. But United take it.
And a stash to boot.
So obviously, Betis Slop Shop scored first in the 15th minute. Then we got Diallo won the penalty that Rashford took. It's good to see him on form. Then Diallo scored a goal in the 24th.
Nice goal.
Casemiro in the 31st. And the Diallo came from an assist from Harry Amos. It was deflected a bit, but Amos got lucky on the left wing. Great run, great ball, led to a great goal. And then obviously Slop Shop Llorente in the 61st. But United, solid performance. The breakout star for me is Amad Diallo. He's looking insanely sharp during preseason, probably player of the preseason, almost like a new signing. He obviously featured well for United last year. But the fact that he is doing so well this preseason is so encouraging for all United fans because Antony was abysmal last year and the manager wouldn't stop playing him. Again, not trying to kick Erik ten Hag, not trying to put mud in his eye a little bit, but this player, I'm glad we figured it out because he is shining and looking like one of the brightest spots on the squad right now.
Yeah, totally. And better late than never, right? Because he could have been one of those players that, like, if he didn't get those minutes at the end, and we know how pivotal those minutes are, right? He got that winner in the quarters that got us to the final, that got us a piece of silverware that kind of changed the tenor of everything headed into this season. Maybe he would have angled for a move, but now all of a sudden he's doing interviews with MUTV saying, I could stay here forever. And that's probably bullshit, but still.
It's
not probably.
You love it.
I love it.
I fucking love it. You want to hear that from a player, especially a youngster like him who's playing this well.
22?
Like, yes, please stay here forever.
Stay here forever. Yeah. And it is like a new signing. And you know what? Like you said, we need another number 9. Xerxes isn't fit, and Højlund just went down for a couple months. So we're gonna have to be more creative up front because I still think you have to go for a center back. You gotta get rid of Lindelof. He's just not good enough to play in the EPL. So you have Amad, you've got Rashford, you've got Sancho. Can't believe I'm saying it. He looked good again today. But
Did look good.
He did. He looked quite
he's
good.
He's a player.
Dude, he's very talented.
He's kind of a
better
brat, but he's got a great touch. He knows how to get into the box, and he also is unselfish when he gets in the final third as well. But it's just he's got this kind of doesn't like to show up to training on time thing that you got to sort out.
But they made amends, They made amends. They broke bread, and he looks like they're all pressed in high. So I thought the game today, Amad, super promising, really exciting player for the future. And I think we're gonna need it because the wing play were good. We got Rashford, Garnacho, Amad, and Sancho, and Anthony. See you later. But at that point, we have one position where we're actually in decent shape. But yeah, any more injuries, you start losing play. Midfield feels very shaky at the moment.
And I think you're going to see Sancho play false nine to start the season. And that's what we should have saw last season. Because he played well there. He played well there today. It allows, when you play in the 9 role, you just got to let Rashford run wild in the channel and be able to link up with him. He can play both sides. It makes sense. And I'm just glad they buried the hatchet because Sancho's a new signing. And the fact that the manager and him are getting along. There was a video of them kind of, having a intimate chat after practice. Yes,
fake,
and it was
fake or real.
I was going to tweet it. I was going to tweet it out and just be like, you know what? This is good to see. People that have beef and that can bury it is respect, right? Because what you can overcome, I think, strengthens the bond. I still think he'll go in some way, maybe January, maybe next summer. But the fact that they're on the same page and that we're using him and he looks good like he did today is awesome. Also, shout out Harry Amos. He looked sharp at left back. You're going to see him. Players we're going to see feature this year. Toby Coyer will definitely feature in the midfield. Harry Amos will definitely feature at left back for Manchester United. Amad is going to own the right wing at Manchester United, and it's going to be Rashford, maybe Garnacho on the left. It will be interesting to see how the manager deals with that dynamic. And you're going to see Sancho play 9. And that's just the way it is. It's a transition year. Ineos has to get to next summer. A lot of FFP issues with our balance sheet and how much cash we have, but we got to get creative. And we saw a creative 11 today. Maybe didn't love all of it, but it was effective against Betis, and it should be effective to start the season because hopefully we have a drama-free zone at Manchester United at the moment. It does feel that way.
I think that I have to agree, sir, wholeheartedly. I didn't like the Sancho thing. Forget not about the player. It's it's not fun when the club that you love, you're having this spat in public. It's kind of like family fights. Nobody wants to see that. Doesn't make anybody feel good. Even the Ronaldo thing, I didn't like that. Not the bone against Ronaldo. It's more
the Piers Morgan interview was pretty hysterical, I thought.
It was a bad look for everybody.
No, I think the whole
as a neutral. I'm not trying to get back in. I'm just saying public
I am
spats.
trying to get back.
I know
into
you
that.
are.
I'm
guy,
trying to,
guy.
No. So
statute of limitations is 1 year after you leave United.
Ronaldo gave that interview and that was the peak shittiest of United, where it was Ten Hag, Glazers, club being sold. It was a nightmare, and he came out and just said, "Yeah, it all sucks." And obviously, he had a personal vendetta. He obviously kicked Erik Ten Hag
in the teeth, bro.
In the teeth on the way out. But come on, Ronaldo he's got the ego the size of a planet.
Bigger.
But it was the fact he,
All I meant
there were some money quotes in that interview. There were some really good quotes in the interview that if you watch them, aged better. I would say a bunch of them.
If you clip a 6-second clip, he comes off like a maniac.
Ego the size of a planet.
A lunatic. That's not the point. I'm not trying to bang on Ronaldo. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, nobody wants to see public fights with people at the club, right? You don't want to see players fighting. You don't want to see the manager fighting. Are we back, baby?
There you go. Got to connect your mic. You're spitting so hard that your mic literally disconnected.
I spit out fire. No, Ronaldo aside, nobody wants a public spat, so it's good to see that the manager is bearing the hatchet with Sancho. Sancho is bearing the hatchet, and at the end of the day, he's a very talented player. If he can contribute this season, great. I want him to, and like you said, him coming back is like a new signing. Amad breaking out is like a new signing. Mason Mount can be like a new signing. Amos is young, but he's showing a lot of promise. That cross he put in, while deflected, I thought he just had good feet. He has an excellent cross. He's got a ton of potential. He's got the jawline, you just know he's going to be a unit in a couple of years. So There's a lot of things to be excited about, but this season, because these injuries, the Lenny Euro and Højlund injuries are big because those guys are starters. Those guys would have started the Community Shield on the 10th, right around the corner. They would be de facto starters without a doubt, and now they're out. And now it's going to be a bit of a mishmash because we've got players come back from tournaments. We've got big injuries. We've got a lot of moving parts, right? McTominay, AWB, Lindelof, Sancho. There's so many moving pieces that, like, brace yourself. I think the season is going to start rough.
No, this is the way it is as a shit show. It's always a shit show. It's like anytime you have an international tournament, the start of the season's a racket. You add in transfers, you add in like the new ownership and then injuries on top of it. It's going to be like, here's a good part. City's not going to be like firing in all 8 cylinders either.
Haaland didn't go nowhere, bro. Haaland did not. He took the summer off. He was in Mykonos as well.
I got to get to Mykonos with Haaland. That would be a good time as much as I don't like a man shitty. But, sir, we got a next match. That is what it's all about here. And we got to break it down. That's right. We're talking Scouse Bastards, Williams-Brice Stadium. Never heard of it.
Home of the Gamecocks, baby.
Woo! Let's go. You thought the turf was shady at SoFi Stadium. Wait till you see William-Brice Stadium. Looks pretty sweet, sir, not going to lie. It's going to be humid. The lads are going to be sweating, cooking down in South Carolina.
I think it's grass. It might be grass. We'll find out.
4:30 p.m., August 3rd, Saturday. Nice U.S. kickoff time. We're going to enjoy that while we can. Lifetime versus the Scouse Bastards.
That's about to stop. You realize we have a 4:30 game within the first month of the season, baby. Let's go. Cannot wait.
We've won 91, drawn 70, lost 81 lifetime against the Scouse Bastards. Let's hope we take this one. Little history. Obviously, we don't like them, especially those 6 European Cups. The ownership is the Fenway Sports Group, which seems to be running this team to the ground, so I can appreciate the...
Seen that movie before.
Hey, as a New Jersey citizen, sir, you know I got to support the New York Yankees. Don't like the Red Sox. Red Sox are sucking, and Fenway Sports Group hiring Arnie Slot and not signing anyone this summer sure looks like they're taking that treatment down to the Scouse Bastards. They're going to have their Glazers out protest moment because holy shit. The holes are going to show up because Klopp's gone, and this team is about to be decimated. Trent's going to go. Salah's going to go. Might as well sign Andy Carroll because that's all they're going to have left after the Fenway Sports Group is done with them. And obviously, who's starting for the Scouse Bastards? They have some sneaky players. Jota. Salah's obviously featuring Harvey Elliott. Not a bad player. Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, I can't say it. Timisis Kakas. How do you say that? The left back.
I ain't touching that, bro. Come on.
How do you say that?
You nailed it.
Come on.
Like basically
you got to give me a shot. Give me a shot.
In Greek over. Timiskas. I don't know.
Timikas.
We're both wrong. Shout out. Let us know in the comments how much we bungled that.
They beat Arsenal 2-1. Arsenal beat us 2-1. So that means Liverpool's going to beat us 4-1. Is that how that math works? I don't know. But at the end of the day, we don't like them. And this is a great chance for Erik ten Hag to kind of mark his territory as far as bald Dutchmen go in the Premier League, because this is the first showing. We do play the Scouse Bastards early in the schedule in September at home, which will be another big game. So this is kind of like a preview, if you will, maybe a trailer of what that fixture will look like, at least the first half. And so let's hope we beat them. Anytime we play Liverpool, we want to win.
100%. You know, last game in the States for the tour, last game of the tour, so that'll be good. You know, tours are kind of fun, but, you know, these injuries are changing my mind about everything. So, good run out. We hate them. That doesn't have to be reiterated how you feel about the Scouse Bastards. Arnie Slot, amazing how they're like just the way that the English press covers certain teams and covers other teams, and obviously how they cover Manchester United. Like they're giving him so much shine. They're shining that bald head.
I haven't seen any shine.
I've seen a shit ton of shine. I'm going to send you shine. But anyway, I want to put him back down to earth. This is a big tune-up match.
I think if you see any article about him, you're just upset. So that's kind of
if I see any article about any non-United, even
you live in a very strange world.
I'm a strange person, so that will happen. But I don't like the Scousers. I don't like their fans.
He looks like a doofus. He looks like a grade A doofus.
Yeah, perfect.
And you know what? Like,
you think they were going to nail it after Jurgen Klopp?
No, that's what I was about to say. I took
it out of your mouth.
No, I was about to say.
You always get it wrong the first time. You hired David Moyes, bro.
Dead man walking. Dead man walking. This guy. It's like there's no like, and I do feel like we have a friend who's a Liverpool fan. I do feel bad for, and I've called everything. I literally said, Klopp is not backed. He's fighting with one arm behind his back against City to win the league. They're not spending the money. Like they're clearly making tons of it. You know, their shirt sponsorship has even rivaled ours. They're making so much money. They're punching above their weight. They're in Champions League over the last 5 years, and they've done nothing for Klopp from an investment perspective.
Recently,
they've been milking. Obviously, when he came in, he got something, but he had to keep going, and so that's why Klopp left, because he's like, I can't keep. That guy's such a nut that he can't keep losing to Pep, and like. He's got nobody. And if you saw what he had last year, we went to the EFL final, and it was like he had kids he was playing. And that's why you're retired, because you go to Real Madrid and get any player he wants in the world and then win everything. Why would you do it at Liverpool? And so clearly there's this element where the team's underinvested, kind of like United after Fergie left. And then they're going to put in this like this chump who's going to like just blow it, and then Salah's going to leave, Trent's going to leave, and you're going to be stuck with all these nobodies that Klopp could get a tune out of, but this guy can't, and it's going to get ugly. They're going to be back in the Andy Carroll days. You know, this is kind of where they're going to be. I'm very excited for this because they're not a serious club. The last time they were serious was what, 60s, 70s maybe, like, and United has taken that mantle. They've had like a little bit of shine under Klopp.
80s, they're serious in the 80s.
Yeah, but they had a little bit of a shine under Klopp, but it's gone. This thing is, they're not a commercial club. They can't compete with the likes of United and Real Madrid and Barca of the world, and we're just going to curb stomp them for the next decade. I can't wait.
You think I'm biased?
No, but there is like a little bit of economics that like they're
not a big three.
They're punching above their weight. United are like, we're punching below our weight right now, and we're still making $600 million a year. This like Liverpool is like the best they've ever been, and they're like barely competing, and it's going to go away. I mean, it's just Klopp was it, and they totally messed that opportunity up by not backing him, and now they haven't signed one player this whole summer.
Poor bastards.
It's like,
I mean, they're not in the upper. There's only three teams in the big three, bro. And, you know, it's not all for footballing, current footballing status, but it's us, it's Barcelona, and it's Real Madrid, and they're in that second tier. With
Bayern ain't even in it, dude.
No, they're not in it.
No.
That's why I'm saying they're not. You don't go around all the corners of the world and see Bayern fans everywhere you go. But those three teams I mentioned, including the team we represent right here, you do. You see it everywhere in the world, and that's an incredible thing to see. Liverpool are a rung below, but
proud of it.
So am I. So they're going to have a transition period. They're going to suffer. I thought the analogy with Klopp and Fergie was very good. He's obviously no Fergie, but like underinvested, and he could read the writing on the wall and be like, "This is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. I need to get the fuck out of town." And also, I hate him. So this is just like, take this. You know me. I'm not trying to shine to either Klopp or the Scouse Bastards because I really do dislike them. They got hard done because they basically had to they had their moment in the last 30 years and they had to play against like the biggest cheaters in the game who have basically been financially doping and just like undercutting the belly of English football. So going against it, they would have won 3 or 4 titles and to go with their Champions Leagues, and instead they got 1, and that's because City was cheating.
Yeah, but but the whole thing is that we have 20, they have 19, so it actually helped us.
I know that. I'm just saying, as a neutral, like they got hard done because they had to play against a bunch of cheaters.
I understand, but like
I'm not mad.
They have 19, we have 20. That's like the last things that we got. That's it. That's like it's literally.
And we're winning 21 before they win 20. Like I'm convinced of that now. It's not gonna be. Soon.
No, it's like Ineos. You know,
the guys, Fenway Sports.
Families are always, rising and falling in the English Premier League. And right now we're rising. We're Ineos. With Ineos, we're rising. And with Fenway, they're falling. And that's just the way it is. And it sucks that it has to be that ownership game. the financial doping game. But look, your player to watch for Liverpool, sir, Dominik Szoboszlai. Why did you pick him?
He's got a lot of hype. I've seen him a little bit when I do watch Liverpool when they're on TV. Looks a talented player. He's one of those players that they're calling better than Bruno, which is madness because there are a few players better than Bruno. But he's definitely a decent footballer. That pains me to see.
75 million euro value is decent,
and it's going up. And it's so he's a decent player. He'll be one to watch. Obviously, Jota. I think Jota's a good player. Salah's going to show up. He got his new haircut. Hilarious. That is a testament to the new era. That new haircut, bro. That's like the Arnie Slot patch job. I know I got a big ass forehead. I'm going to get my Turkish plugs, but he needs to get some Turkish plugs because his new haircut is like an embodiment of where Liverpool are at right now. And he's only losing hair from there.
Sir, you know what? I'm just not going to comment on that. But what is your score prediction for the Scouse Bastards? What do you got here?
I think 2-1. 2-1 feels about right. I think it'll be cagey. I think United hopefully shows what they showed today. I was actually quite encouraged. It was a little slow to start for United in the first half. That's really what we care about is the first half. But we were pressing well. I liked the level of I thought Rashford had some good movement. I thought Sancho had some good movement. Amad looked really good. So a lot of activity. Hopefully high press. Hopefully we cut open too much. 2-1. So what do you think?
Sir, we're talking about practice. So, it could be, 1-1 with penalty shootout. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know why they'd have a penalty shootout.
Why not? Why not?
Just more chance for injuries at this point.
Seriously.
Look, I think that's a good match preview. I'm excited for it. Let's get into fan questions. Thank you for everyone who tweeted us. We love the banter. We love the questions. Coming in hot. At Love the Bulls 18, is it time to panic and start getting more bodies in, or I'm overreacting? You're not overreacting. This one step forward, 2 steps back. It just has that vibe. Brutal, just brutal with Lenny. Lenny is the one that is heartbreaking. But let's not forget Kobe Manu got injured in a similar fashion, and he came back roaring. So I think it's how you play over a long, long season. And if these players are able to heal and heal properly, we will be in a good position. But Højlund, I'm worried. Højlund feels like a player that's getting injured over and over. And that's just, it's like my gut doesn't feel good about that. And that number 9 is such, we have to, I want Ineos to go get another number 9. It would be like a loan.
You get Tony.
You got a loan. If you can't get Tony, you got a loan of vet, 34.
Giroud.
Somebody. Yeah, you got to have somebody, and then because you got to reduce the pressure on Højlund to come back early. Because remember, Højlund came back from back, and we played him. He got hurt again, and so it's like if you don't have some extra bodies there, you end up getting more injuries, and so that's my number 1 concern.
And that's a very fair concern. But the good thing is that these guys who are now running the club are not idiots. The last guys were idiots. And what they did was that we got in this position where holy shit, we got an injury, we got whatever. We started the season poorly. They would go and they'd panic buy and they'd buy Antony for 85 fucking million pounds because we don't have a number 2, number 3, number 4 target. Same with Harry Maguire. We've done same with Casemiro. I love the big chubby cheek bastard, but at the end of the day, we overpaid for Casemiro, and he probably doesn't fit the profile at the age. So it's don't panic. This is a long con. This season's going to be a fucking mess regardless. So let's just try and enjoy the ride.
It was shaping up to not be such a mess, but this does feel like...
But like you said, it's Kobe was having a really promising preseason. Everyone was like, oh, shit, this kid's a player. He got injured. We started like shit, even when he started playing well. He played well. We didn't play that well, but it's going to take a couple months to get our feet underneath us because of the injuries, because of the movement in the squad, and because of the 2, competitions that happen with international football. It's just we're going to be kind of on the back foot, and we have to just kind of make it work and hope for the best.
At Country Esquire, let's not freak out about the injuries. Ineos are the Benny Gesserit. Their plans are not measured in weeks; they are measured in centuries. And there's a photo of Paul Atreides going through the Gom Jabbar, the test of the Benny Gesserit. Are you kidding me? I read the books, dude. I love Dune. Big fan of Arrakis, sir. Before the movies, I'm big into Dune, sir.
I was talking about the planet that you are big. Is it the family or the planet?
Arrakis is the planet.
Okay, yeah, I've seen the movies.
Sir, on the I have like a Dune quote on the inside of like my my wedding ring. Here I am, here I remain. So that's like that's like translation. That's New Jersey for take it from my cold dead hands.
So tell us about the Bene Gesserit.
That's what it's all about.
They're not gonna panic, right?
Ineos. So I think they have low expectations for this year.
Yeah,
like I've said on the pod,
and they messaged that.
So by the way, for last season we predicted United would be 6th or 7th before the season, and they were. A lot of people got pumped up about hot air, but this year it's going to be probably worse, and we'll play better. And so while frustrating, we will probably lose games we should win, and last season was always about winning when we should have lost. And I think it will probably flip the script this year, but it will be the exact opposite, where there's encouraging signs of good football and something to look forward to. At Sabres Car Guy 9, when will the medical team? When will we get a medical team to stop the injuries? For the love of football already. I agree here, because the Lenny Euro one was weird, because he kind of came in, started playing a lot, and he was training at half this pace. That didn't make sense to me. It's like if he's training half
the sessions, not half the pace.
No, but half the sessions, and then you're playing full sessions. That was a little strange how they were kind of adding that up. And I was like, I would have thought he'd be like really restricted with time, like maybe 30 minutes, do a sub, give him 30, take him off. Like, I just feel like we're not, the medical team is behind the times. You look at like the MLB, they know exactly how many pitches a pitcher can pitch before he has to get taken out, or like all the analytics. And I feel like this whole preseason, it's just like Højlund, yeah, just go in there and just like nobody's telling him, like, hey man, don't make these gut busting runs. You're not 100%. There's a disconnect between what's going on in the pitch, and like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's like everyone should be playing at 80%. Like, just get fitness, calm down. And these games were kind of like a little intense.
No, they are. And some of these games have been nuts, right? That fucking game in Norway was absurd. The pace of play.
It should be like way easier.
No, it's even today, with like the Betis players were really making a meal of it and like rolling around and going into tackles. I think it's a freak thing. I think it was exacerbated by the pitch. I think that you make a very good point, is like the thing you have to keep in mind about really young players, and Højlund's young. Lenny's really young. Like, he's starting in games at 18 years old, and the player I think of is Rooney. Rooney used to get these like injuries in his foot. He broke his metatarsal a bunch of times. He broke it, I think, in that World Cup, didn't he? Or in the Euros? But like, he's had multiple injuries. You get those injuries as the player is like he hasn't probably even finished growing. You know, he's like only 18. So you have to be very careful with those players. But I think at the end of the day, you saw that because like he knew Martinez wouldn't be ready. Martinez is still on holiday. I'm seeing on Instagram. And you don't trust Lindelof. So he's like, I need to get Lenny. I need to get him blooded because I want to play him at Wembley, and now we're not going to see him until like Thanksgiving.
It just hurts when you say it.
I feel bad for him. He's joining a new country, a new team. He's a kid. And the one thing that's really happy is like the older guys, like Evan said this, Onana said this. He's like, we have to protect. I like that. They're like looking out for each other. Like, they know they have to look out for him because he also stayed on tour. He like wanted to stay on tour because he didn't want to go back to Carrington and just be like on his lonesome with Xerxes. You know, he wanted to be with the new guys, and that's good. So you got to feel for the guy. Højlund, you have concerns that are reasonable. I'm just, I think he has so much promise that like that would be. I hate when players just like injury. You
can tell with like the thing with the Højlund.
He's too much go.
He's too much go, and he's too like you don't see footballers like built like him. It's like he's got too much mass, and it's like you look at a Rashford, and it's like that he's quick and he's not getting injured. Like Højlund's trying to move around too much weight. It's like we saw the training video of him and he's like bumping around and like I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He should be slimming down, getting quick. It's like working on the hold up play. He's like working on like bodying up defend. It's just kind of one of those things where you got to be a little more streamlined in the Premier League. It's not all about like bodying people up like it could be in a more physical league in Italy, and I just feel like Højlund that's when you get those hammies, right? You got too much go, and he's obviously like Yoke City. He's not like a Luke Shaw or like a Casemiro, but I do kind of maybe he's carrying around a little too much,
And he's fat. I mean, he's got speed. So
Of course he does.
And he's got that quick transition. So that never. I think he just came out too hot. Like he wants to impress, dude. He just got the number 9.
I like the kid.
No, I do. He's
Like,
got the right
I
attitude.
like the kid,
He's always
but,
smiling. But it's true. It's like if he has an injury concern, you can be the best player in the world, man. Luke Shaw is one of the best left backs. But if he's only available every other game,
Like, why was how do you score 30 goals for Manchester United? How does RVP do it? He's available every game.
and he's a
And
player.
it's just like, there you go. It's like you have to be available, and just that's the cold reality. But look, that's it. That's the podcast. We're concerned. You're concerned. Pod
feel it.
therapy.
We
Pod
feel it.
therapy. Make yourself feel better. Pick out a Viva Garnacho scarf, sir. Let's go. If you like the podcast, you can support us in many ways. Subscribe, like on YouTube. You can write a review on iTunes. Support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/American Red Devils. And like I said, you can pick up our Garnacho scarf, AmericanRedDevils.store. Sir, give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1. How we doing? How we doing?
Oh, wait, you need the stats pulled up here.
I
on the-
know some of them.
Okay.
Brooklyn, New York. No. Number 1, how you doing? How you doing?
Los Angeles. Let's go.
Appreciate you. Chicago, Illinois, Dublin, Ireland, Brooklyn, New York, New York, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, PA, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and last but not least, Seattle, Washington. We appreciate all the American Devils listen week in, week out. We couldn't do without you. Always darkest for the dawn. The sun is coming up. There's still rain clouds, but the future is very bright, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, check out our YouTube. We couldn't do it without you. Season is right around the corner.